Kirk Cordes, a native of South Dakota, ranched north of Wall in Wasta most of his life. He married Kathy in 1967, and they had 2 children. When Kirk retired from ranching, he and his wife moved to Rapid City, and his wife, Kathy, developed Alzheimer's shortly after the move.
And looking back, I know that she knew something was going on before any of us did, and she would complain about certain things. The one thing I can remember her saying on numerous occasions was, "My head just feels like mush." And we kept kind of downplaying it and ignoring it. But as time went on, I was able to determine or detect that there was some things going on that was not normal, and then the rest of the family members decided that they could see things changing also.
Kirk says the first 10 years with the disorder was the most frustrating, as they had a hard time getting an Alzheimer's diagnosis.
We would go in for doctor appointments and test, and they would do whatever they thought they needed to do, and at the end of the visit, about all they could come up with, they would say, "She passed most all of her tests, and I think you're just dealing with the aging process." And I did not like that answer, and I didn't think it was an accurate answer, and it was not. Eventually, I just made the diagnosis myself that this is Alzheimer's, and it wasn't until the last 5 years of her disease that the doctor at that time then would list on her medical records that she did have Alzheimer's. And I didn't realize it was affecting me like it was until I sort of almost had a panic attack. And looking back, I know it was a result of me, wondering what she had and how to deal with it and where our future was going to wind up.
The family decided that a memory care unit was the best place for Kathy, as her symptoms worsened. There she spent 5 years until she passed away.
In some ways it was kind of a relief to not have to worry about watching her all the time. So in some ways it's kind of helpful, but in some ways it probably didn't help my mental status all that much either, because all of it was just wearing on me, but I will say this much, that even while she was in the memory care unit, that we had some really enjoyable, happy moments. I would go in about every day, and if nothing else, we would just sit and maybe hold hands and enjoy each other. Wouldn't have to converse, but it was, I had someone tell me that Alzheimer's is not a death sentence, and I kind of agree that it isn't a death sentence, that you can still have some happy moments and enjoyable moments. I could tell that she always recognized me, and I have no way of proving that, but just the look in her face, I knew she knew who I was.
Kirk says that the access to resources has improved in the last 15 years when his wife began her journey. He and his daughter have made a commitment to help facilitate an awareness for the disorder and help to facilitate support groups and resource accessibility.
I think there's just more of awareness about Alzheimer's, how to handle them in certain situations, whether it's a doctor visit or calling the taxi and getting them into the taxi or whatever. People are starting to understand that you have to handle Alzheimer's patients in a different way.
Kirk says he has hope for a cure one day.